From the streets to the woods, I walk along this path, keeping grounded to the earth beneath me as I carry her into the sound. My name is Queen of the Green, and I'm a vocalist and a vocal producer. My aim is to create music that connects us to the earth. And this is my story. 10 years ago, I attempted suicide through an overdose. This near-death experience changed my life. This was my tape player. With this tape player, I taught myself how to heal my brain through the power of nature and hip-hop. I wrote. I couldn't stop writing. I spent all of my time alone walking the streets, teaching myself how to beatbox. Little did I know that I would embark on the adventure of a lifetime. With death behind me and a new life emerging, I turned survival into my art form. It didn't make sense, and it didn't have to. I didn't know how or what, but I knew that I was to wander into the unknown with nothing but my backpack, and to follow the visions guided from within me. It began at this hip-hop show in Edmonton. I was hired to be a shooter girl at this bar. I put aside my tray and I started rapping, and a man named Ambiguous pulled me aside. It's like, hey, you got skill. If you can write me a verse in 10 minutes, I'll get you on this demo. And so I did. I also met another man at this show. His name was Sonic, and he offered me my first gig on our shared birthday at a festival called Sunshine and Grass.
Happy Sunshine and Grass.
Before I knew it, I was in competitions and I played underground festivals and gatherings. I even began to develop a following. And I knew this was my calling. 8 years I spent hitchhiking and couch surfing. My life became a freestyle. Every day I didn't know how I was going to eat or where I was going to sleep. I didn't stop. The streets were the training grounds of my mind. I developed a circuit from Alberta to Nelson to East Vancouver, to where I dove deeper into the roots of underground hip-hop culture. I then made my way to California, where I got to get connected to the freestyle circuit, and I met many rappers who took me under their wing. I was brought from San Diego to Mexico, and then I made my way to Cancun on my own to play the strip. I traveled and traveled and traveled and traveled. So then there's the musical. See, when I was dying, I dreamt of a musical. A dubstep, fairy tale musical about festival culture. And I knew it was my life quest to create it. I wound up in the jungles of Hawaii, where I stayed in a small village. And I'd had this dream that I was supposed to leave the next day to Oahu. I didn't know how, because I was completely broke. But the very next day, I met a strange man at a market. And after talking to him for quite some time, he told me he was leaving to Oahu, and that he had an extra ticket. So I took him up on the offer, and met Jerome James, who offered me a room in his house. He told me it belonged to a man named Forrest, who was coming home to perform with Beats Antique. So Forrest finds me in his room, and he laughs. He goes, "Oh, there's a woman in my room. You can stay in that corner." I asked him to play me his music, and I was in awe. he was the producer I was looking to co-create this musical with. So on another note, I decided to drop some Quean on a looper pedal. And this opened me up to a whole new world of live and of improvised sound, where I could apply my research of sound frequency. And I could use the pedals as a way of communicating to the earth and sending that sound all the way down to her. So I created my first album, and I called it The Raw Files. And it's made solely from my voice with the pedals. I continued my journey of wandering and of performing shows.
Please welcome Queen of the Green.
And I mean, the way I look at it, every stage is a stage of evolution. I feel blessed to have the opportunity to open myself and to empty my mind as I become one with the unknown, the sound, and the crowd. I feel this incredible connection from within me. I've had quite a few tales as an artist, I must say. One of them being when I wanted to manifest a pirate ship adventure. And well, I got one. And long story short, let's just say that the boat almost sunk and we had to be towed, and I was able to bring my looper pedals on the Zodiac and rock the stage. So I found a small town in BC. I found it on an adventure, and I had a dream that I would one day live there. And that dream came true. This place has given me room for my roots to grow. It's given me space for me to form all the ideas I've had in my mind, to create them into reality, like my album, Focus. I also got to edit my music video for Can You, and it's given me the chance to share my music locally with my community. I also created the single Boom Wide Web and founded a local hip-hop show called Drip Drop It Like Hip Hop, as well as creating the Green Guide Vancouver, and I self-published 2 books, Womb Links and Bee Leaf. I mean, altogether, I'm super grateful. I give thanks to this beautiful ocean that inspires me. The ocean has always been my best friend, a connector of all lands. At every beach, I'd pick up trash, and it would break my heart. It's one of the main reasons that I created Focus. This album was created over 7 years of travel, focusing into flow, flowing into focus. I wanted to help the ocean. So I met a woman on my trails. Her name is Chloe. Chloe's the co-founder of the Ocean Legacy Foundation. They clean plastic out of the oceans, and they're trying to raise funds for their invention, which helps to turn plastic into fuel. They're kind of like these superhero plastic ninja warriors in my eyes, to be honest. And what they do is so incredibly inspiring. And so I want to give what I can. So a percentage of my album sales go towards helping them. So if you want to find it, you can find it under Queen of the Green at Focus. So nowadays, when I'm not playing shows, I keep mostly to myself. I've got work to do. I have 2 more albums to record and release. One of them is a self-titled hip-hop EP. The other one is a compilation of all of my looper pedal songs called Roots to the Stars. I think about where it all began, and I'm happy with where I am. Illustrating the musical, after recording, and after scripting it, I really look forward to seeing Forest again. And I thank this path that I've walked. I thank everything that I've learned along the way, all the trials and all the blessings. I think about all that's been written. And I thank the simple things, like my garden, growing food, being able to sing to these plants as they grow, learning the frequencies of nature. And I send love to this web of life. I try to carry that into this World Wide Web, being designer, manager, promoter, and running a newsletter to help this eco-evolutionary movement, as well as being video editor, sound editor, and artist at Queen of the Green. My art is inspired by both the wild and the urban. My wish is to embody a new paradigm of both sustainability and artistic expression. I try to bring this to every stage, to send the sound waves down to the earth as a way of giving thanks for this opportunity to exist. So this is me sending love to all relations and wishing you a happy existence.